Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review and a demo of the world's most full coverage foundation, apparently. Now obviously I have tried this out a couple of times, and that's why I felt the need to now do my video on this. And I know a few of you were interested about this. I think it's been around for a while. I just think that it's recently become YouTube famous, and I was just really intrigued to see whether it did live up to its name, which I don't think they gave it, but somebody gave it as the world's most full coverage foundation. Now this is what the box itself looks like. Nothing fancy schmancy, just says what it is with a little bit of Czech written on it. It just says Dermacol Film Studio Barrandov Prague makeup cover, because it is a company which is based in the Czech Republic in Prague. And Dermacol, the brand itself, it says Dermacol Cosmetics first started in the Barrandov Film Studios in Prague in the early 1960s and have since remained under Czech ownership. Soon, film studio experts teamed up with dermatologists from the Medical Cosmetics Institute in Prague. It was then that the makeup cover line developed by Dermacol was launched as one of the first of its kind, both in Europe and around the world. And this product's license was sold as far away as Hollywood in 1969. And this is what the actual tube itself looks like. It's in a very stiff tube. It's not something that is easy to squeeze, so you have to be very careful and squeeze it very, very gently to get out the tiniest amount of product. So I bought mine in the UK for £12.95 from a brand called, or a company called Love Makeup. I do believe that there are quite a few fake ones flying around. Don't buy it off eBay. If you are going to buy it off eBay, bear in mind you may get a fake. So if you are in the UK and you really want to try this out, I would definitely buy it from Love Makeup, which is a reputable brand which sells legit cosmetics. Now altogether the shade range has 13 shades, and it is not geared towards women of colour at all. Bear in mind that it is a Czech brand, and as far as I'm aware, there are not that many people of colour in the Czech Republic, and especially in places like Prague, which is a massive tourist hotspot. If you do see a lot of people of colour there, it's because they are either tourists or they've moved there. But generally, unfortunately, that is the reason why there is not that much of a shade range in terms of people that are darker than me. Now, I have, out of the 13 shades, this is the 12th. So there is one shade which is darker, and then that is it. Their claim that it is full coverage, it is the most full coverage foundation I have personally ever tried in my entire life. It is to the point where they have described it as coverage full, and in brackets it says extreme. This is for filming makeup. This is for stage makeup. This is not for your everyday kind of makeup. As the brand says, this is how it was created by a studio, by the Barrandov Film Studios. So it has really specifically been created for people that are actors on stage that have got harsh lights on their face, and people at the back really need to be able to see their features clearly, and that is the main reason why this was created. Now obviously it's gone out into the makeup world and everyone and anyone wants to try it, but that is just something that you need to know, that it is not for your everyday kind of makeup. Now I have used it a couple of times, and let me just read what it says on their website. Clinically tested, extreme covering makeup cover was created as the first of its kind in Europe and one of the first in the world. It contains 50% pigments, which makes it a weapon against skin imperfections. Dermacol makeup cover provides full coverage even in thin layers, and is the perfect corrector for under-eye dark circles, unpleasant spots and skin blemishes. It completely covers acne, loss of pigmentation, post-surgical bruising and tattoos, etc. It can be used all over the face or body for colour correction, darkening or lightening the skin tones, and ensures an ideal balance. It is widely used as a professional makeup for photo or film. Waterproof, hyperallergenic for all skin types, SPF 30, preservative free, and it is 30 ml. And on Love Makeup's website, it is an introductory price of £12.95. Eventually it'll go up to £14.95. Now, what can I say about their claims? Yes, it is super pigmented, super intense. The amount that I've taken out of it is probably half the size of my small nail. And that is literally enough to dot it all over my face, and then I will blend it out, not with a brush but with a damp beauty blender. If you use a brush, it just won't work. It really needs the dampness of the water from the beauty blender to really blend it out and to give you a full even coverage. If you use a brush, I think that because this is so thick, it will just clog up the brush and leave it in streaks and patches on your face. You will not be able to get an even coverage. Now, in terms of my thoughts about it, yes, it is extremely full coverage. Yes, it covers tattoos. I've got a tattoo on my wrist. I tried it out, completely covered it all together. And the only thing is that it is so full coverage that it makes me look unnaturally perfect, like too perfect. I've got a beauty spot there, and generally with my foundations, as long as I can still see that beauty spot, I know that I've not had it caked on and it's not suffocating my face. With this foundation, my face feels suffocated. It felt cakey. It had that weird feeling like, you know, when you apply some sort of acid to your face and it dries and it tightens. It felt like that. I was like, I can't move my face properly. It was that kind of feeling. My face felt dry. It just didn't feel right. I could feel the makeup sat on my face, which is why I can understand why it is best just to be used on the stage for people that are just going to be under those studio lights for a few hours maximum, and then they can wipe it all off. This is not your everyday foundation. I would not even recommend this for bridal photography. Can you imagine you're a bride and you're wearing this on your face for upwards of 12 hours? You're going to feel uncomfortable. On your wedding day, you want to feel beautiful, you want to look flawless, but you also don't want to have the feel of your makeup on your face. This really suffocates my skin a lot. And I personally would say that if you are going to invest in this, just bear that in mind. The only thing that I would probably say is to maybe apply an oil underneath and then apply it on top to make it a bit more malleable, and to use a primer which is not a mattifying primer, because you will just look, it will just be too much. It grabs onto any dry patches that I have on my skin. I don't have any at the moment, but when I first started using it, it did. In photography, I'll be very honest with you, my skin looked amazing. It looked flawless. So if you want to use it for photography, then that's fine. If you want to use it for being on camera on YouTube, that's fine. But to use it as an everyday foundation, I just really say no. Like, I'm not going against what their claims are, and I'm not saying that it's a rubbish foundation, because they have very clearly stated this is what the foundation is like. So I'm not disproving any of that. It says apply in thin layers, 100%. The perfect corrector for under eye dark circles. I would not apply this under my eyes. What it would do is, because it's so stuck to the skin and so full coverage, it would create like lines under your eyes, and it just won't look nice. You need something which has got a little bit of give to it underneath the eye so that it looks natural. This one would literally suffocate my eyes and make the underneath of my eyes look like a wrinkly old lady, and I don't want that. Covers unpleasant spots, yes. Skin blemishes, yes. Completely covers acne, yes. Of course it covers acne, but just remember, acne are spots and they're lumps. If you look to a certain side, you will still be able to see that lump there. You just won't be able to see the redness of it. And again, I think that if anything, if you have got acne, you don't want to look like you've got a flawless face, but you've got bumps all over it. I just personally don't think that would look nice. Loss of pigmentation, post-surgical bruising, yes. And tattoos. If you guys remember, I ran a half marathon in September and I really fell really badly and hurt my knee. Now, it's been 3 months later. My knee is healed now. Like, the bone doesn't hurt so much anymore. It took a long time to heal, but I damaged it very badly. But the scar on my knee is disgusting. It's a big, round blotch of purple on my knee. It's still healing, and I tried this out on my knee. Just obviously I wasn't going out like that. My days of wearing short skirts are well and truly over, but I just wanted to test out the claims of this being full coverage, and it completely covered the scar altogether. I just wanted to see what it was like. I tried it out on my tattoo, completely covered my tattoo altogether. If you've got oily skin, I think that you wouldn't mind this so much in terms of the texture of your skin, because obviously the natural oils will come out and make it feel a bit more comfortable. If you've got dry skin, I would think twice. Maybe if you do want to apply this, apply it with a face oil at the same time so that it doesn't make your face feel so dry. And if you're like me, I've got normal to combination skin, just bear in mind you are still going to be able to feel it on your skin. But this is a truly over the top full coverage foundation. It's got a strange smell, like, it smells like baby wipes, so that's not such a bad thing. So what I'm going to do now is I am going, oh, I haven't even told you the shade, have I? My shade is in 223 and it is a perfect match for my skin tone. And I am in MAC and NC40, stroke NC42, depending on what time of year it is. But I'm generally an NC40, even though I don't even use MAC anymore. But that's just the reference everybody seems to go for these days to make it easier for themselves. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a primer to my face, and I'm using The Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer. And this time I'm actually going to go in quite generously with the primer because I need that extra moisture. So I'm just going to let that settle onto my skin a little bit. My face has gone red because it always does when I rub stuff on it. And this is concealer around my eyebrows in case you're wondering why it's a bit white around my brows. As I always say in every foundation demo video, I always do my foundation before my eye makeup, but obviously for the purposes of the video I've already done half my eye makeup just so that's easier for me afterwards. Now this is incredibly thick, there's no point shaking it, but you have to take out the smallest amount, and I'm going to show you exactly how much I mean. You see that? That is enough to cover my entire face and make it completely unnaturally flawless. Bear in mind, I've got pigmentation, I've got scarring, I've got red marks on my face, I've got discoloration. So if you haven't got these things, you would want to use even less than this. So before I do the other side of my face, I just wanted you guys to see how full coverage it actually is. Can you see that? Whoa. Like, whoa. You saw how little I put on, and that has literally covered my entire one side of my face. And I can barely see anything. And I went in with a fairly light hand. Now, if I wanted to, I could apply a little bit more to the areas where I have slight redness, but I just don't want to. I think that this is enough coverage, especially once I then put on concealer and powder and everything will be fine. So there we go, that's it. This is the Dermacol makeup cover in the shade 223. So what do you guys think? Can you see how full coverage it is? Here is in terms of the colour. You can see it blends into my neck. There's definitely a bit more beige to it than gold, but I can just about get away with it. Even though I've got quite yellow undertones, sometimes I can get away with beige-ish foundations. But here it is, and it's starting to dry. It does transfer, that's something that you need to know. And even though it doesn't feel tacky, because the reason it doesn't feel tacky is because I've put such a little amount on. The more foundation you apply, the more tacky it will become because it's a liquid. With this one, because it's such a thick cream, it's even thicker than the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation, which I find to be a very, very thick full coverage foundation. And it's even more thick than that. So as soon as you apply it to your face, you really should start to blend it straight away, because as you saw, I took a break in between just to show you guys one side of my face, and this side had already started to dry, so I had to blend it in a lot more than I had to do with the other side. So that's it. But I will set it because I just feel that I have to set any kind of foundation I wear on my skin. It always helps with the longevity of your foundation as well. It stops the oils naturally seeping through. Now, I do find that this lasts on my face a very, very long time. As the natural oils start to come through in my skin, it does make my face look a lot more natural, but that's after a good 10-12 hours of wear. It comes off very easily as well, probably because there's hardly any on my face to begin with. So I'm just going to do the rest of my makeup now, and then I will be back. So I am back. My makeup is done on my lips because I know you guys will ask. I'm wearing the new Anastasia Beverly Hills from the holiday kit set. This liquid lipstick is called Hudson. I believe it's permanent anyway. And then I still have their holiday lip gloss set I bought last year, which this shade here, which is called Caramel Lip Gloss. I put it on the top. Finished all the rest of my makeup. As you guys can see, it's all done. All looks lovely. The colour matches beautifully. My skin feels nice and soft, but I do feel around this area my face feels kind of constricted. But yeah, but overall I think I would actually give this foundation an 8 out of 10. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a rubbish foundation. It's actually a very, very good full coverage foundation. However, is it one that I'm going to wear all the time? No. Is it one that I'm going to repurchase? Probably not. I definitely think it is geared more towards people that work on stage, on screen. If you're getting photography done rather than a full day's wear, you will definitely see the benefits of it in your pictures, in that you would look very, very flawless. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have you bought it? Are you planning on getting it? What do you think? Let me know below. I hope you guys are wonderful and great and enjoyed this video. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.